Today I'm speaking to you as one of the worst fires in California history is raging in Los Angeles County. Now, it's not the greatest fire in terms of, or the largest fire in terms of the number of acres that have been burned so far, but it's an urban wildfire, and the number of households that have been affected, the number of houses that have been burned and businesses that have been burned is far beyond our imagining. And it is a hard day for all of us. My old office building was at 100 Wilshire Boulevard in Santa Monica, and it's only a few blocks away from the evacuation area. So all those neighborhoods that are in flames are neighbors, my cousins and uncles all lived in the fire area. And so we're very worried for everyone's safety and very upset about what's going on down there. Now, we have had terrible fires up here in Northern California, in Santa Rosa and Paradise. But even, the church that I serve that I love almost more than any other church is St. Clement's Church in Berkeley. And that church, a quarter of all the people in that church lost their homes in the Oakland Hills fire. And so it was a terrible source of suffering among us. And there were so many times where I go to visit people, and every single thing in their house was brand new, because they had lost absolutely everything, every photograph, every piece of paper, every piece of art, everything had been destroyed. And they had to find their way forward after that. Now, my wife Heidi works very closely with the victims of the Lahaina fire, and so she's with them day in and day out, trying to help them rebuild their lives, trying to help them find a new way forward. And she mostly helps them with kind of administrative things, not the spiritual things, but the spiritual things are part of this also. Heidi and I, we actually had our house burned down when we lived in Somerville, Massachusetts. And we were a young couple, so we hadn't accumulated very many things, but everything is gone. And sometimes I think, oh, I'd love to listen to this record. It was burned. I'd love to listen to this tape or this piece of art, this book. So much was destroyed in that fire. But beyond that, things have a material influence on our life. Karl Marx wrote about how human beings build human consciousness into the world, that physical objects are an extension of ourselves. So a notebook where we take notes is a way of extending our memory into the world. A pair of glasses that helps us to see is a way of us extending our vision into the world. He said that every single thing that we experience that's in the built environment was designed for our use, designed with us in mind. So chairs are at the right height for our comfort, and they're designed for us to be able to relax in them. And this is part of what happens, is that physical things have a role in our inner life. And so when we lose everything, we're losing an important part of our spiritual well-being. In the book of Job, the prophet Job loses everything. He loses, all his children are killed. All the flocks of herds that he has are all stolen. Every single thing he owns is lost to him. And he says, the Lord gave and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And what he expresses in that is that despite our tendency to think that our well-being depends on physical things, that really we have a connection to God, which is so much more important than the things we build our lives around. And no one can take that away from us. No matter how desperate our circumstances are, we can always return to that source of comfort, that source of connection that we find in our hearts, where we're closest to God, where we're even closer to God than we are to ourselves. I don't know where you are or what you're experiencing today, but my prayers are with you. My prayers are with you whether this is a time of sorrow and a time of stress, and whether it's a time of joy in your life. But I'm grateful that you were able to join us here at Grace Cathedral. My name is Malcolm Clemens Young. I'm the Dean of Grace Cathedral here in San Francisco, California. Thanks for watching More Good News.